Welcome again to this episode of Stress and Purpose in Life. This podcast is for you guys that want to transform your life and get inspired by others on your journey. And what is the secret of staying young is today's topic. Is it about genetics? Or does it depend on how we live our everyday life? Today's episode, we dive into this incredible, powerful connection between self-leadership, self-care, and ageless living. And who else to have on this show but you, Eudie? You're the best, perfect role model for being on this show, on this ageless living topic. You are an amazing person. You just came from a 27-kilometer walk.
Yes.
That's amazing. You're warm welcome to you. It's very
Thank
nice to
you.
have you here on my show.
Thank you, Stina. I'm very happy to be here and to share what I do. Thank you so much for the invitation. It's
You're
really
welcome.
quite exciting and to be talking about a subject that I'm very, yeah, I can say I'm very passionate about, because I've actually, after many years of people persuading me, keep asking me, what is your secret for keeping so youthful? Because when I tell people that I'm 63, they get
Yeah, this is
shocked.
amazing.
And so
Oh my God.
it's all very
You look
normal.
so beautiful and incredible person. What an amazing person. Okay,
Oh,
yeah, go on.
thank you. You're making me blush now. But
Yeah,
anyway,
no
yes,
worries. You blush on because it's you. This is a really amazing role model to be on the show, and you are such an inspiration for many people because this
oh
ageless living is. We need to become ageless, And what is the secret? What
yeah.
is your secret to this?
Well, do you know?
We
Do you
want
know
to
something?
know.
Well, do you know something? One of the things I point out in my book. But by the way, is it okay if I show you a copy of my book?
Absolutely, yeah. Do
It's
please.
now available. It's now available on Amazon, and the title of it is "Timeless Woman" by a 63-year-old who defies age. Discover how you can revolutionize the way you look and feel within 6 months naturally. Because I
Yeah.
am, very much an advocate of natural methods and strategies, for keeping youthful. Of course, we all, first of all, I think it's important to point out that, it is a privilege to get old these days. But my philosophy is just because you're a certain age, you don't necessarily, when your years are advancing, when you're getting older in numbers, you don't have to look uh, like you are that age. um, I'm a firm believer that we are in control of everything we do. One of the things I say in my book is that um, you deserve the face and the body that you have by the time you reach the age of 40 onwards. And what I mean by that is everything we do to our body matters sometimes. And because I think the age of 40 is when our body starts to show what you have been doing all your life. Because sometimes people do things, you tend to, there's nothing wrong with living in the moment if you like, but you have to remember that everything you do, all the choices you make in life, starts to build up, and by a certain age it starts to show in your body, it starts to show in how you look. Everything, we are in charge, we're in control. If I decide that I want to eat hamburgers all day, that's my choice. But you have to understand, that those things, they could have consequences. If I want to eat pizza all day, yeah, of course I would if I wanted to. Or anyone who wants to eat pizza all day, they can do that if they want to. That's their choice. But you have to remember, you know, um, whatever happens to your body as a consequence of whatever you do, it will show in your body. It's as simple as that. It's no secret. It's all scientific.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's you're really proof of that. I mean, your age, I can't imagine that you. It's amazing. But anyway, I mean, I also agree with that. Age is just a number. Actually, it's
Totally.
in the mind, and but you have to do these self leadership routines that are pro life. You know, pro living. And I can imagine that this is such an important topic because we have a new generation that's going to live longer, and
Yes,
it's so important to be living healthier, right?
definitely,
So
definitely.
what is the mind body connection there, do you think? I mean, people talk about they have the mind and then you're going to do whatever you can do whatever you do with your mind, but your body has to
Yeah.
keep on. And so what is the connection there, do you think? What is the most important part? Or and so
Um, well, we have to bear in mind, um, first of all, we are in control of what we think, what we do. Everything comes from the mind. There's a saying sometimes the mind is willing, but the body is not willing, or whatever. Sometimes, it's a kind of silly statement that people say sometimes. There is a You have to also remember that there is a direct link between your mind and your body, how you feel, because if you tell yourself, because language is so very important in the context of looking after ourselves. So, for example, um, there are certain things that I tell myself, which is the opposite of what a lot of people do. For example, take the word treat. Do you understand what the word treat is? Treat, to
yeah,
treat yourself.
yeah.
So for example, here, I I I I hear people saying things like, "Oh, I will treat myself to a nice bar of chocolate today." To me, that's not a treat. To treat myself would mean something that is going to be good for me, something that's going to nourish my body, something that's going to be good for me in my mind. So a treat for me would be something like taking a nice relaxing vacation somewhere, something that will feed me holistically in mind and body. So a treat for me, it is something like that. So if it's something that is not going to nourish me, either my body or physically and my soul, I don't think that is a treat. So
No, that's a
uh,
very
so
good aspect.
so language is so very important to, to the philosophy of actually looking after yourself.
Yeah.
It's so important.
And I think that is such an interesting because treat you associate that with sweets. It's
Exactly.
something that is like you associate with treat. Well, why do we do that? Because it's not healthy,
No,
right?
exactly.
So a treat
But
should be something, as you say, a
yeah,
27-kilometer walk. That's
yeah,
a treat. That
exactly.
is so amazing because people
Yeah,
need to hear this because we think treat is something that, I mean, the body needs something healthy. It
yes.
doesn't need, okay, sometimes it could need a chocolate,
Mhm.
but in the long run it doesn't work for you
No,
that
it,
good as a 27-kilometer walk.
yeah,
So treat
exactly.
should be something redefined, I think. That's really,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. So my language for the things that are not actually good for me, which are the opposite of a treat, I call it maybe an indulgence.
Yeah.
I use the terminology indulgence. So this is so important. Or even I might say something like, I might tell myself it's okay, I'm going to go off piste, using a skiing terminology. Going off piste is
Yeah.
doing something that's not good. So, but then I will have to balance it with getting back on the straight, on the narrow. So, for
Yeah.
example, if I go, I'm human like anyone else. I would indulge maybe in a bar of chocolate, but it has to be something, say like dark chocolate, which is a lot better. It's just because
Yeah, good.
It's just
Yeah.
to perhaps, deal with the slight sugar or sweetness craving, because I am human like anybody else. But I have to make sure that I balance it with making sure that I get rid of it from my body.
Yeah.
So I make sure that maybe I exercise or whatever. I exercise every day anyway. So, so those things are, it's just a philosophy. It's just a way of maybe reminding yourself, and, certain things you do, you have to balance them off
Yeah.
to make sure that you're not going to be the worse for it. Am I making sense?
Yeah, because yeah, of course you do. This is so amazing. But I think many people that are watching, the viewers. I mean, people can say, okay, oh, she's such a routine and everything. I don't have that routine in myself, and I don't
Yeah.
feel like I sit in on my sofa and look at movies every day, and I don't. I feel depressed. I don't feel happy about my life. My purpose is what is my perfect meaning of life, and you can be
Yeah.
really from the
Yeah.
other side very
Yeah.
depressed or very happy,
Yeah.
and to know that it takes some kind of strength and courage and power, self leadership to go to the happy part, and you feel happy about doing this, having
Yeah.
those routines. And
Yeah.
sometimes also you need to be happy, and also you need to kind to yourself, having
Yeah.
the self-care. So the balance there, I think many
Absolutely.
people can say, okay, but this I can do a little bit of that, but
Yes.
what do you say to those people that are at
But
that
the,
stage?
the the thing is, the interesting thing about that is it's all in the mind. There is a saying that I came across which I believe 100%, and it goes something like, stress um, does not actually kill us. It's our response to stress. Um,
Yeah.
how we deal with things that make us stressful. So if someone who's feeling, oh, I don't feel like exercising today, or I'm depressed, I just want to sit on the sofa and watch TV or movies or whatever, again, that is your choice.
Yeah.
No one is forcing you to do that. The only way you will ever uh, start to feel better, because there is a direct link between our mind and our body, how we feel. If we look good, it's because we feel good. And when we feel good, it's because we look good. And the only way that will happen is for you to actually have the mindset to do something about what it is that's making you depressed, making you feel down, making you feel not good with yourself. You have to motivate yourself. No one is forcing you, no one is making you depressed other than yourself. You
Yeah.
have to have a love for yourself to be able to do something about how you are feeling. No one else can. It is
Mm.
completely in your hands. Everything we do is totally 100% in our hands.
Mm.
That's my view.
Yeah, and I think it's very, very inspiring to listen to you, because many people are viewing here are people around younger than 40 years old. Many people
Yeah.
are also older. I have quite a wide range of viewers, but me myself, I am in the 40s,
Yeah.
and I see that my life until now has not been really healthy. I've been overweight. I have been underweight. I have been having troubles with making healthy choices
Yeah.
due to stress. And I think many people, the stress management here is really important, because many people that are uh, having stress, they
Mhm.
always have some kind of health issues as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
And to get to that point that you understand, okay, you have to really reflect on yourself to really think, okay, am I happy in this situation? What
Exactly.
should I do about it?
Exactly.
But what I would like to come to is that if people are older, if they are like your age, you're
Yeah.
older than me, uh, and 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 they are having like so many regrets in life because they have lived unhealthy.
Yes.
What situation are they in to change that to something better?
There's again, I will use
And
the
also the same question for younger people, of course. So
yes, everyone,
yeah.
everyone. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what age you are. The thing about regretting when you get older, which is quite an important thing. Um, first of all, if you're a younger person and you are sort of kind of in a situation where you're continually abusing yourself, abusing your body, think about what's going to happen maybe when you get older, and possibly you might start to regret some of the things that you've been doing, because you've not thought about the things you are doing now. Because sometimes I think people, you know, say things like, "Oh, live for today, forget about tomorrow." To a degree,
Yeah.
that's probably true, but you do have to think about tomorrow. You don't want to get to a certain age and then regret the things you've been doing, the things you failed to do, whatever. And then for the people who are at a certain age, a mature age, and then they look back and start to regret a lot of things, that's very human. But it doesn't mean that you should then think, oh, it's too late now. Because if you have the mindset that it's too late for you to do something now, you will actually get worse. So the best thing to do is actually say, okay, I failed to do this a long time ago, but now I'm going to change things. I'm going to start looking after myself a bit more. I'm going to start eating healthier, uh, taking more exercise, drink more water. These are all very simple things, that doesn't really cost a lot of money. It doesn't even involve going to the gym. If you want to go to the gym, that's a good thing, because you're going to be among people who have the same mindset, that they want to get
Yeah.
fit. There's just so many things that people can do, that if you just simply say, oh, it's too late now for me to do something, then you are definitely going to continue to feel down and feel depressed. But once you make the decision, I'm going to do something about it from today, instantly you will actually start to feel better.
And
Absolutely.
that is so important, because many people today have some kind of self-sabotage. I talk about it in some of my
Totally.
because self-sabotage, because you feel not worthy of something, or you just give up,
Yeah. Yeah.
give up mentality. I mean, why?
Ex-
We don't
yeah.
have to give up. And
Exactly.
you don't
Exactly.
have to. I mean, it's an external environment and an internal environment, right? And the
Yeah.
external environment could be like really, yeah, it could be quite negative.
Yes.
But it doesn't depend on, you don't have to negative yourself, right?
Yes. Exactly. And the thing about the self-sabotage thing, um, a lot of that actually comes from sometimes um, a lack of confidence in oneself, being unsure.
Yeah.
Again, this is all very human, but unless perhaps you take a risk in something, because it's a fear. It comes from a fear of failing. But
Yeah, of course.
but
Yeah, you're right
but
about that.
but you need to take the risk of doing something different from what you used to do, because um, risk taking a risk is an absolutely necessary part of self-discovery. Because
Yeah.
once you take a risk in doing something that you're not used to doing, and something you want to do but you're not used to, because you fear, either maybe because you're not going to be good at it, you will never know whether you will become better, whether you will change, unless you take the risk. And so taking a risk in something is a necessary part of self-development,
Yeah.
self-improvement.
Yeah, getting out of your comfort zone. But you also
Yeah.
talked about the relationships you are in and the circumstances you have and the people you have around you in your life,
Yeah.
and stepping up.
Yeah.
If you are
Yes.
at the gym, people at the gym are also having the same motive. They want to
Yes.
get fit, they want to get healthy.
Exactly.
um, but the holistic part, I mean, you just talk about the mind and the body, but
Mhm.
the holistic part, do you have some kind of one tip that this one, just do this today and then you will change tomorrow? Or is it not it's not a quick fix, right? But something that
Uh,
you have from your toolbox. Do
okay.
you have some techniques? Do you have some kind of mindset techniques, or do you have something like that to share?
Well, one of the things I do actually every single day without fail. It doesn't matter what it looks like outside. I always say to myself, today is going to be a beautiful day. Mindset is so important.
Yeah.
Even if it's cloudy, if it's raining or whatever, don't suddenly think to yourself, oh God, look at the weather, oh, it's horrible. Yeah, it might be horrible outside, but tell yourself it's going to be a beautiful day. There are lots of nice things that are going to happen. Even if bad things happen, it doesn't matter. It's your response to what happens that will determine how things will develop for the rest of the day. As human beings, we encounter disappointments on a regular basis. It's how we deal with it that will determine what will be the outcome. Um, so I will start as soon as I get out of bed. I'll say, I'll say today's going to be a beautiful day. I'm looking forward to going for a walk. I'm looking forward to looking after myself and lots of different things that I do. And throughout the day, I make sure that I eat healthily, I nourish my body, I drink plenty of water. This is all part of holistically looking after myself.
Yeah.
Of course, like any regular human being, some things might get me down, but or disappoint me. But like I
Mm.
say, it's my response to it that will
Yeah.
make sure that you know, I don't, um, I don't sort of become feel like some kind of victim
Victim.
of those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being a victim is not helping you
No, it
out.
isn't.
And you have to take control of your life, and but that has to do with a lot of transformation, and people need to come to the rock bottom sometimes, right? So did you hit rock bottom? I'm just curious, did you
Yes.
hit rock bottom somewhere that you really needed to do something that has to do with what you're doing now, or is
Um,
something you want to share with us? This was out of the record here, but I'm just curious.
well, I don't know whether it's hitting rock bottom.
Yeah.
Um, Something that I've noticed about myself is that um, I've trained myself, if you like, to become resilient, to become to
Yeah.
deal with many
Resilience.
things, that I experience. Like for example, one of the saddest one of the saddest periods of my life was when my husband was diagnosed with cancer. Eventually, he passed away.
Oh, sorry for.
Um, and what actually kept me going and to be able to deal with um, his no longer having him is actually continuing to look after myself. Even during his sickness, when he was, at his weakest,
Mm.
I made sure that I looked after myself. I some members of our family, they know that I'm the sort of person that I like to look after myself, and they encouraged me because they knew that I needed the strength to get through, and I knew that I needed the strength to deal with his death. So
Yeah.
while he was very sick, so sometimes I made sure that I go out dancing to take my mind away from the situation.
Mm.
I continued to look after myself. nourishing my body, eating well, um, exercising regularly, all of those things, because all of these things are, they are interconnected. Our mind and our body is, you cannot separate them from what would help us to get through difficult periods. Some people suggested to me, for example, go and seek counseling. That's not the type of thing I felt that would help me. What I
No.
felt that would help me was actually to continue to look after my body, because you know, if I don't look after myself, I cannot rely on anyone else. I cannot burden anyone else to look after me. We have to. It's only children who expect older people out, their parents, their guardians, to look after them. But as older human beings, we should not think, we should not give the responsibility to anyone else, not even a psychologist, you know, to look after us. Okay, some people might find that useful, but for me, the most important thing has always been to look after myself, look after my health.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think I would be depressed if I never
Yeah.
looked after myself.
But I think you are such a powerful what an energy you have. I mean,
Thank
wow.
you.
But I agree with you about, if you let other people take care of yourself, then you become the victim almost, right?
Exactly.
But sometimes, of course, many people sit and they need the help. They need mental health
Yes.
help, to the guidance from people, of
Yes.
course.
It's true.
But you have to do it yourself. It has to do with yourself, your own power of transformation. It has to do with you.
Yes.
So what an amazing conversation. Do you have something more that you want to share regarding how people that need to start is depending depending on if they're young or they're older or they're mature age, as you say, or just want
Um,
to make a start in this? I mean, should I just step off the sofa and go out now for a 27-kilometer walk?
Whatever. I mean, different things work for different people. I like walking. And one of the
I also love walking. That's the best.
good.
I love being in nature,
Yeah.
and nature is really healing for me. So I
Yeah.
agree with you. Absolutely.
Yes. Oh, totally.
I mean, yeah.
Well, one of the things for me, for my mind, is that every day I have to do some form of some form of exercise. It's good for the mind and the body as well. If I actually don't exercise in a day, um, I won't feel comfortable with myself. But exercising doesn't necessarily mean going for 27 kilometers power walk like I do. So it could be just simple stretching. Even when you mentioned earlier somebody sitting on the sofa watching movies or whatever. One of the things I do actually is, if I haven't either been for a walk or gone to the gym or whatever, if I'm sitting watching a TV program and there's a commercial break, I
Yeah,
will,
the commercials.
yeah, when there's
Good
a
tip.
commercial break, I will use that period of time maybe to do some sit-ups. It's so easy to incorporate exercise. It's almost like passively exercising without you thinking too much about it. So I would think to myself, okay, during the next commercial break, I'm going to do some press ups. The next commercial break, I'm going to do some planking. And then the next commercial break, I'm going to do some side stretching or whatever. It doesn't matter what it is, but I'm incorporating exercise into my day
Yeah,
without necessarily taking a huge chunk of time. It's so easy to incorporate.
and
Um,
that's something fun, because
it's
looking at
exactly,
commercials is really, you can be really stressed out about looking at commercials, but
yeah,
then this is something fun. What a great tip
yeah.
for
And
everybody
the
that's
thing is,
listening.
the more
That's
you do
amazing.
things like that,
Yeah.
it becomes easier. And then sometimes, for example, um, if I want to go shopping, I leave my car at home, and then I go. I know the supermarket is about 12 kilometers round trip, and then I would do. So that's part of my exercise for the day,
Yeah.
and plus I'm doing my bit for the planet by not using my car and polluting my environment. So these are the things I tell myself. So there's just lots of different ways that I incorporate looking after myself. And and the thing about looking after yourself, it's I cannot stress how important it is. I was saying to somebody recently, and also I said this in my book, we a lot of people neglect themselves, and I find that very fascinating. But then they may have a hobby that they spend a huge amount of money on, maybe like a man, for instance, spending a lot of money um, refurbishing an old car or a motorbike or whatever. And some people spend lots of money on their pet animals and things, but they always neglect themselves.
Yeah.
For me, that's like self-abuse. When you neglect yourself, it is actually self-abuse. It means that you don't respect yourself, you don't think much about yourself. You would much you care for other things, even material things, but you don't take care of yourself. It is
Mm.
self-abuse.
Yeah. I
It
agree.
really is. That's the way I look at it. And you need to reconnect with making yourself, take time out to make yourself feel special, make yourself feel good. And sometimes when you've done something bad, um, as far as you're concerned,
Yeah.
forgive yourself. Do something that will mean that taking you're not punishing yourself too much for being
Mm.
being human. You have
Yeah.
to have the maturity, the uh the best way, what's the best way to put this, you have to have the emotional intelligence to recognize when maybe you've done something that perhaps is not so mature, and accept that you've done that, and then forgive yourself and then move on.
Yeah.
Something, it's just reminded me, actually, something that you mentioned earlier. I think it's to deal I think it was to do with getting down on depression and stuff. Maybe you've been subjected to things, how people make us feel.
Yeah.
And one of those things probably possibly is, again, one of the things that fascinates me is when people break up in relationships and they get depressed, and then they start sometimes hating the person that they were no longer in a relationship with. I'm fascinated by that,
Yeah.
because human beings, we have the freedom to love who we want. Um, and we have the freedom also as human beings not to be attracted to someone. For example, you cannot um, you cannot hate someone for not loving you, because we have the freedom as human beings.
Yeah.
Of course, it's natural to be disappointed if someone has left you, if someone is a relationship doesn't work out.
Mm.
You need to, as far as I'm concerned, okay, deal with it. Don't deal with, okay, that relationship has ended, it was not meant to be. Don't punish yourself, and much worse, do not punish the other person, because no one is obliged to love you.
No.
No human being is obliged. Not even if you have children, you're not obliged to love your children. It's something
Mm.
that happens naturally. It's the
Yeah.
same as loving another person. It's something that happens naturally. So there is no point beating yourself up.
No.
Get yourself better, start loving yourself, and then move on.
Yeah.
That's
And
right.
that has also to do with self-love, I think. You know, to
Exactly.
have enough self-love for yourself to
Yes.
see that, yeah, this is better for me, or what
Yes.
is better for me. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
So we need to round this up. I don't want to, but some last words now for the viewers. Just something more. Do you have something from your book that you want to share, or something about where they can reach out to you?
Yeah, well, by all means, I'm on Instagram. I'm on Instagram, Eudie Okoro, and Facebook as well. Instagram, you can find me as Eudora Okoro Andrew, which is Eudora Okoro, Okoro
Yeah, we
Andrew.
have it here down on the screen as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And um, yeah, yeah, I'm happy
And
for.
your book was. Can you show the book once more?
Yes, thank you for reminding me. It's called. So I don't know if you can see that properly
Yeah,
because it's kind of
Timeless Woman. It's on the other side, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
timeless woman. Yeah,
But
so it's available
oh,
from.
what a nice picture! Also, amazing picture. Wow.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's yes, it's available from Amazon. So if you just simply put, to search for it, either you put timeless woman, or it's easier if you just put my name, Eudie Okoro,
Yeah. Yeah. But we
and you
have it. Yeah. Yeah.
and you can find it on Amazon. So I give lots of tips there, and then I discuss. I talk about stress, and I talk about the easiest, some of the common foods that we eat that actually makes us age, quicker than we actually should be aging. It's
Yeah.
really important. People don't realize a lot of this. But I'm not going to
Yeah.
say what it is. You have to get my book
Yeah, of course.
to get.
And drink a lot of water. That's a very good tip, right? Drinking a
This
lot of
is
water. You had one there. Yeah, you have one there. Yeah, I have
water.
one as well. Yeah, it
Water,
needs.
water is life. Do you know? And it's it's one of the things I point out in my book. The human body can survive for a long time without food, but it can never survive without water, without hydration. Our organs will start to actually shut down in a matter of just about days if we
Yeah.
don't drink, if we don't hydrate. Consider this. People sometimes, you have sometimes some people who go on a hunger strike. They know they can survive without food, but they will always keep hydrated.
Yeah.
Because they will die without water.
Yeah.
The human body needs water
Yeah.
every day, and
Yeah, we need to
hydration.
read your book also for the other tips. Very
Yeah,
nice talking to you. What
thank
an inspiring and what a gift to have you on my show. You're
thank
amazing.
you,
Thank you for being here. And
thank you,
you have
Sten.
such a vitality and joyful and energy. Wow. You
Yeah,
really, it comes
that.
over very good on for people that are looking at this now, because it gives you energy to speak to you.
Oh my gosh!
You have
Oh,
such
thank you.
energy.
Oh,
Amazing. So great to have you here on my show.
thank you, thank you, thank you, Sten.
And
Pleasure.
yeah, you're welcome many more times. We can have a discussion about stress management also in
Yes,
another episode, just about that, because that has a lot to do with healthy living and ageless living. It's
totally.
crucial. So
One,
that's
yes,
another episode.
that's great.
uh, and the viewers, thank you for looking at this show, and hope it resonates with you.
Thank you.
And you are very welcome to subscribe to this channel if you find it very valuable for you, and also share it with others, of course. And until next time, love yourself deeply. And remember, vitality and youth,
Right.
it has to do with ageless living. And we learn it all by you, Eudie. Your
Thank you.
inspiring episode today. It's really amazing for many people, and important for many people as well. So I thank you again, and until next time, bye for
Pleasure.
now. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.